Today in Grow a Garden in Roblox, I want to help you guys figure out how to farm fairy points as fast and efficiently as possible to save you time in this kind of difficult fairy event. If this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, become part of the first 300 KOGs on the channel, and let's get into the video. So fairy points are everything. At first, we thought that getting fairies themselves, fairy jars, was the most important thing, but now that they've nerfed the amount of fairy jars required to unlock everything, fairy points seems to be the bottleneck. And I want to help you guys and show you how to farm them efficiently. And truly, I will demonstrate it for you here in this video. So as you can see right now, I'm currently sitting on 10,000 fairy points, which isn't enough to buy a single enchanted chest. I want to show you how quickly I can actually farm more fairy points, and then how you can do it as well. First things first, let's switch to my other garden where I actually have all of my farmable things. Once I'm done demonstrating, I will tell you what you need to put in your garden to farm fairy points. Give it a quick switch, and here we go. As you can see, I have multiple of every single seed in the seed shop, plus a handful from seed packs. And I'll get into that list in a second. But I'm going to demonstrate for you how I farm seed points. And by seed points, I mean fairy points. It's been a long day. Sorry. Also, look at that massive whispering. That is so cool. So farming your fairy points is all about farming the fountain of power as quickly as possible using the quests. For example, boom, glimmering orange tulip. Let me come over here and grab a orange tulip that has glimmering, and then we'll go back to the garden. Now, you can use something like the enchanted lantern to let you teleport here, or you can walk. And I'm just going to walk and demonstrate for you, after I offer all the plants, how many points I can get. I'll even click fairy points here, just to farm a little bit extra. Now I need a glimmering apple, hit the garden button. I'm gonna go to my apple trees, which are actually just over here. Glimmering apple, teleport back to the front of my garden. I will go in, even amongst all the lag, and hand in the glimmering apple. When I'm done this quick rotation of 5 different quests to do. Let me hand this in. I will take the eggs, thank you. And that was a coconut and an apple, not a problem. Once I'm done this, you're going to see how quickly this was. You're going to see how many points I can get, and then you're going to figure out, oh, I can do this as well. Let me grab my apple, and let me grab a glimmering coconut, teleport to the front of my garden, and then I can walk back. It doesn't take a lot of time if you do the appropriate prep work to figure out how to farm this event. I'm shocked at the number of people who are like, I don't have any fairy points. How do I get fairy points? Next up, pepper and a grape, teleport back. Go over here and grab your grape and your pepper. I have a handful, I think 3 grape plants over here and 3 pepper plants. Here's a pepper plant, grab that. And I have a grape plant, grab that, teleport to the front of my garden, walk back over and done. I basically have maybe 3 or 4 of each of the plants necessary to do this event, which isn't that much. It doesn't take a crazy amount of plants. Thank you for the eggs. Now I need grape, burning bud, and beanstalk. Beanstalk, burning bud, and grape. Let me just grab this here. Burning bud, thank you. And I'm gonna go towards the back of my garden where I have my beanstalks kind of hanging out. I'll grab a beanstalk like that. And then right over here, again, where you saw the grapes earlier, I'll come over here and I will grab the grape. If I can find it. There's one. Done. Front of the garden. And look, that was all 5 quests done in a short period of time. And as you can see, I have finished all 5 quests, offer my plants, hand in the final one, make a wish. I'm going to choose eggs. Thank you very much. Use 7,500 points to reset. And boom, we're back to level 1. How many points was that? If you remember, I was at 10,100 and something. That was 16,000 fairy points. I even only took 1 fairy point bonus. 16,000 fairy points is enough to buy a single enchanted chest from the vendor. And that only took a few minutes. So if you want to grind fairy points, this is the fastest way. You just do the quests over and over for a while. It takes a lot of grinding. It takes a lot of work, but we can't change the event now. I'm hoping the developers made the events easier in the future, but for today, for this moment, this is how we do the event. Now, what plants do we need? Let's go over that. What you need to do is you need to acquire every single one of the seeds here in the seed shop, except carrots. I've never seen carrots needed, but strawberries, blueberries, orange tulips, yes, tomatoes, corn, daffodils, yes, watermelon, always grab these. Watermelon and pumpkin, sadly, yes. Apples, bamboo, also yes. Coconuts and cactus and dragon fruits and mangoes, all yes. Grapefruit, mushrooms, sadly, yes, you're going to need mushrooms. Peppers and cocoa, and then all of your prismatics, beanstalk, ember lily, sugar apple, burning bud, giant pine cone, Elder Strawberry, and Romanesco. I have seen all of them show up as quests. If you don't have access to a lot of these prismatic plants, logging in the hour before the update Saturday morning is a great way to get them because the developers hand them out like candy. They hand them out like crazy. You can leave an event the hour before the update drops at 10 in the morning Eastern Standard Time with multiples of each and will really help out your garden stuff in the future. Man, I really love that giant moving plant. That is just so cool. Now, there are 4 other potential requirements you're going to need, and you get them from the seed pack, the enchanted seed pack, which is this one right here, which you get from this event itself. So doing the quest will give you the seed packs. And all of the more common plants and the uncommon plants, the glowthorn, the sunbulb, those are sometimes quest rewards as well. Let me point them out to you in my garden. The sunbulbs are uncommon. You get them like crazy. These are sometimes a requirement. Also, this one here, the glowthorn, as well as the light shoot. And honestly, it's only those 3. Glowthorn, light shoot, and sunbulb are the only other requirements I remember ever seeing for the fairy points. Now, let's say you don't have all the things you need for your fairy points. Let's say a quest pops up and you don't have it. You just don't. It's mushrooms, for example. And you're like, ugh, I'm out of mushrooms. I don't have any more. I haven't seen mushrooms in the seed shop in forever. What do I do? Well, the fountain of power above that meter comes into play here. Let's say I don't have any blueberries. Obviously I do, but let's say I don't. All you have to do is hand in any glimmering plants. Could be anything here, anything at all. So for example, I can't do blueberry. I will grab some sunbulbs. I'll come over here, maybe grab some apples to show you, some light roots. I'll grab some of these, some mangoes, some peppers. I'll grab a whole bunch, coconuts, lots of coconuts. There, I picked up a bunch of plants. Probably not 100 points worth, but I grabbed a bunch of plants quickly. This is where a radar comes in handy like crazy. I'll come over here and then I'll do offer all plants. And boom, I actually did have 100 points worth of plants and it's done. And I skipped the quest that is difficult for me. Now, skipping the quest doesn't give you the fairy points you need for completing the quest. So don't skip the quest unless you can't complete it. Always focus on doing your quests and grab fairy points if you really need fairy points. So while you're farming your fairy points, if you really want enchanted chests, I also suggest you continue to craft them for a sunbulb, a seed pack, an egg, and 6,000 fairy points. This 30-minute cooldown is the cheapest fairy point-wise way to acquire enchanted chests. So if you're not willing to actively farm them, that is one of the best ways to do it. Now, I'm hoping in the future, in upcoming updates, the developers learn that events that are difficult like this one just aren't going to cut it when everyone's in school and people are working and people are busy and have lives. Grow a Garden is a beautiful game, and it's a wonderful game when it remembers its roots as a casual, AFK-friendly kind of game. They need to keep that in mind in upcoming events to prevent people from looking at a complicated event like this one that requires a lot of grinding and a lot of work, and a lot of young audiences just kind of wash their hands of it and go, you know what? I'm out. I'm not interested in this kind of thing. Yet for those of you who are here and are playing and do want to know the best way to do it, that is the fastest way to grind fairy points in this game. And then every 30 minutes after the hour, so 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, etc., the fairy ring will appear. You go in there, you talk to the main shop vendor, and you can buy your enchanted chest by resetting the shop with shekels and buying the chest, I think, for 15,000 fairy points each, which is basically one rotation through the Fountain of Power from level 1 to level 5 over and over and over again. So every time you do a rotation of the Fountain of Power, you can basically buy one more enchanted chest. And that's kind of how it works. Hopefully this was useful to you. Hopefully I can help more of you to learn how to do this event. It's not the best event in the world. It's very pretty. It's very beautiful. Has some really cool looking plants. But in terms of actually doing the event, it can be a little bit frustrating. So hopefully I helped today, guys. If I did, go ahead and hit subscribe. Become part of the first 300K OGs on the channel. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.